Good afternoon, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time today.
You got it. How we doing, everybody?
We'll get started here with Jeff McLean and then John McMullen.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Jeff, I
JT.
thought I was going to get to do this tomorrow, which is my birthday. I wanted you guys to sing to me, but got to do it today. So.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, I'm not probably good. You don't want to hear me sing.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the pressures you got didn't involve extra man. There was four men, but you were giving different pre-snap looks to kind of throw off the protection. How effective were they? And how effective do you think they can be against the better quarterbacks in this league?
Good. That goes into the quarterback and the protection scheme that you're going against. But we've had some looks, throughout the year that we've built some different things off of, and we were able to deploy a different package, a couple third downs there, and had some success. So we always look at things that work or don't work and why something works or doesn't work and try to build off of it or throw it away or add to, and we'll continue to do that. But players did a good job with some of those calls and executed and helped us get some stops.
Go ahead, John, and then Les.
Hey, JG, happy early birthday.
Thank you. There we go. I saw a couple smiles when I made the joke. Geez, oh man, Jeff. Come on, man.
So what happened? First half versus second half, and then wanted to ask you about Josh Sweat. You talk about guys train wrecking games. Was that a train wrecking game from Josh?
Yeah, it was. I'll talk about Sweaty first. Yeah, he did a really good job. You look at the first two plays, and I mean, he made two tackles and just very active, violent plays. But and playing the things that we asked him to do, playing at a high level. He affected the game in the run and pass game. He was hard to block. They had to, pay certain attention to him as the game got going. You saw they chipped him a couple times, doubled him a few times. But, he's one of our premier players. He stepped up, and he doesn't know this, but he's going to be the player of the game. But so he did, I feel like, helped us, one of the main reasons why we won that game. And then, guys, you know how it goes, first half, second half, gave up a couple plays early and just, we get cut out one time or we have bad eyes one time. That's kind of how it goes. We're always striving to, shut people out and be perfect, but we know that's not how the game typically goes. That's not how any sport goes. There's a human element into it and, a lot of things going on during the game. But I think it was a credit to our players. We settled in and, we fixed, the coaches did a good job of fixing what we needed to fix on the sideline. And then at halftime, we got to a couple different calls, and ultimately, again, you guys, the players make the calls come alive, not the other way around. So our guys felt good about what we were doing. After we kind of got hit in the mouth a little bit, we showed some emotional stability, settled in, and played good football. So you never want to start the game down 10-0 or whatever it was, but it is what it is, and you got to go from there. And just like we always talk about, that's play the next play. So credit to the players and the coaches where we got the course corrected.
Go ahead, Les, and then Bo.
Well, John, you just pretty much answered what I was going to ask, but it seemed like the dichotomy was so pronounced yesterday. 4 straight possessions with scores for them in the first half, no points for them in the second half. I mean, people watching on TV are thinking you're going in at halftime and like waving a magic wand or something. How did you get this turned around so completely? Was there something you went into the game, not expecting, or was it just a matter of getting people to correct minor errors?
Yeah, there's definitely no magic wand. If somebody has it, I'll pay them for it. Again, it's just the players, got to coach and play better, and execute a little bit better and understand as the game goes how they're attacking you and what we have to do to combat that. And, ultimately, though, I just always go back to, even when there's been some games that we've started extremely fast, 3-and-out, 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 and then they go all the way down the field and score, and then they go all the way down the field and kick a field goal. Well, that kind of gets lost in a game where, oh, well, you gave up 10 points in the first half, but it's how you gave up those 10 points. So I think what people are seeing, oh, man, they went right down the field and scored, and then they scored again, and they scored again. And it's like, man, we're not playing real great, but we did some good things in those drives, to minimize some of the points that were put on the board in the first half. And then in the second half, we got in at halftime and talked to the players about how we're going to call it and what we're going to do and the corrections that need to be made. And ultimately, we executed. So I just think that, in a football game, there's highs and lows, every quarter, every series, and just got to keep playing, play the next play, keep playing, and just try to execute at a high level.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Ed.
Hey, JJ, I wanted to ask you about the mechanics of the defensive line rotation. Is it sort of Tracy's autonomy to decide who's in? How much back and forth is there between you and in terms of, asking who you want to be on the field during the game?
Yeah, good question, Bo. We normally set that up with the head coach throughout the week. Tracy, Wash, myself, and the head coach. And we in your mind, I think we've talked about this before. You kind of set the game up a certain way, and knowing where we kind of want everyone to be around, how many plays, and sometimes the game doesn't go like that. And so you just got to be able to adapt and adjust. And that's a constant conversation, in between series, honestly. How many plays did those guys just play, where we're at in the game up top. I'm asking Joe Casper, where are we at? How many plays are we? We just went 3-and-out here. Okay, we're fine. And then you start looking at the clock and you're like, okay, well, want to keep these guys fresh for this situation here, but we also got this package going on and we need this guy in. So sometimes that gets a little out of balance. You heard me say like those 8, and we had 9 guys up and they all played yesterday. And, we're trying to keep the horses fresh and put guys in position that whether they can be successful. So that changes, we set that plan up throughout the week. And sometimes it holds exactly true how we said, and sometimes it, gets a little bit, out of balance or what we didn't say, or it kind of played out a certain way, and that's okay. And it's good because our players understand that sometimes the game goes a little bit differently, and they got to be ready to play less or more when called upon.
Ed and then Rube.
Yeah. Hey, JJ. There's a chance you could play Tampa again for a second time in the playoffs. Any advantage to having played them once already this year, or is it just so long ago that it's just 2 different teams at this point?
Be where your feet are, Ed. Dallas, man. Dallas.
Well, let me ask you about Dallas then, if I could. Playing them a second time, again, played them at the end of September, I think. So, how different are these 2 teams at this point in the season?
Yeah, that's a good question. Every team's different week to week, especially then, we played them so long ago, which was different from the Giants and the Washington football team. So we will use that game and look at it and see what we didn't do well and what we did do well, and how we have to play better to get ourselves in a chance to do our part to get ourselves, to be able to be competitive and win that game. They did some things that were good, I thought, and we have to have some answers for. And I think we're a better football team, and they're probably a better football team too. So it's going to be a big-time challenge because they're loaded.
Rube and then Zach.
Hey, JG, with all due respect to the quarterbacks you faced over the last month and a half, they're not Mahomes and Brady and Dak and Derek Carr. To the outside eye, it looks like you guys have improved. The stats say you've improved tremendously as far as coverage and pressure. But the schedule is what it is. How much do you feel like you guys have improved as a defense, and where do you see that improvement since that first half, and how do you measure it considering the opponents, I guess, or the opposing quarterback specifically?
Yeah, I really don't measure it by the quarterback. I measure it, from an execution standpoint. I always look at when the pass defense. That's just not. That's rush and cover and rush, and all 11 guys have to be doing a good job when you're talking about run or pass defense. And so I think that we've improved in when we're calling certain coverages, where people are at, our spatial awareness, how we get on people. We're winning our leverage side a little bit better, I thought, right now, last better half of the season than we were early. And some of those things take time. You need reps. You need time on task. You need to, there's unscouted looks that those guys are getting in certain coverages that, I think that we've improved, our ability to play the coverages the right way. And then when we pressure, I think we've improved that, the ball's coming out a little bit quicker, and we're winning some more one-on-ones, I feel, and the coverage is where it needs to be behind it. So, ultimately, when you look at are you improving, are you not, what's our record now? I think we are improving. Are we where we're at? Are we great right now? No, we got a lot of work to do. There's no doubt, and our guys know that. But I do think our understanding's better and our execution is better.
Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Jonathan, happy early birthday.
Thank you, Zach.
Following up on Bo's question from before, two questions about the D-line rotation. First, why did Kerrigan start and then Barnett get most of the snaps among the edge rushers? And then on the final drive of the game, it looked like you had a few snaps in a row. I believe it was 4 with most of your reserve linemen out there and neither of your starting edge rushers. Was that the way it was designed to go?
Yeah, the Kerrigan starting was a little bit because DB was on COVID. So, we didn't know if we were going to get DB back or not. So Kerrigan was going to be the starter there, and then we're going to see how, as the week progressed, see how DB went. I think he worked out before the game, and then he ended up being fine. So that's why his play count is where it was. And then at the end of the game there, I think we had what you just said is true, but we're kind of you want to keep fresh if they do keep going. You want some of our starters in the game. So that was spelled out how we wanted it spelled out, and I'm glad they did a pretty good job executing. And I thought that they were fresh at the end of the game and rushed pretty well.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, JG, happy early birthday. What have you seen from Zach McPherson behind the scenes? Obviously, we've only seen him kind of in spot duty, but how has he grown over the past 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, I think from a preparation standpoint, a lot. I know D. Will and DK, they hold those guys to a very, very high standard with how they prepare for a game, and you got to be on it or you will get exposed in that room. And he's done a good job to improve that part of his game. When he does get his chance in practice, and right now as the season goes on, the rep counts kind of go down. But the reps that he does get in practice, he's doing a good job playing the coverages the right way. I think his eye discipline has been, through the roof from where he started. And, it's a different game playing on the highway in the NFL than it is in college, just with the coverages and how the offenses try to attack you. And it can be a hard transition, but he's done a good job with the snaps that he's had in practice and in games where I think he's improved his game. You saw him made some plays 2 games ago, and he's like all our rookies. That's why I'm so excited about our rookie class. Their football character is high, and they want to be out there and they want to play and they want to improve their game and help the team win. And they take that to heart, and he's one of those guys that does that.
We'll take one more question here. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, following up on Rodney McLeod, you spoke about him last week in terms of the dependability. On that final play, what specifically from a football perspective did he do well to get the interception?
Yeah, well, for the pre-snap alignment, took the quarterback off of their best player because we're in man-to-man. So he was in the right spot with that, had the right alignment, had the right depth, read the quarterback the right way, cleared through the 3-step, saw the concept coming to him, which was a high-low over concept. started to melt with the quarterback's eyes, held the dig window off long enough to where that wasn't going to be the second level dig, and then he reacted to the quarterback. It took a great angle. You know, the ball was slightly underthrown. Anthony Harris did a great job with undercutting that. You know, when you're playing post-close defense and you're in man-to-man, when the ball gets to you on some of those over routes, we're always talking to our guys about being ball you man, because that's how you use the post defender, where you're making that quarterback throw it over you and in between the post defender. And sometimes that ball on that route, that's a hard throw, that can sail, and he was in the right spot at the right time and made a play. And it was good to see that. But, I mean, honestly, I see Rodney do that in practice. I expect him to do it in the game. So kudos to him. Good, well-executed walk-off for us there.